Earth Queen, and which being Pisces. So all 4 quarters being closed, fire, air, earth, and water. The only thing left is what they call to drive the stake in the vampire's heart. Now, that entails the women being free and unrestricted to do what is necessary to clean this planet up. We're going to have some storms. They're going to be the most beautiful storms you ever seen. They're going to tear some fucking shit up because it need to be tore up, not because it's being destructive. It's things in a way that need to be moved. If it blow a fucking high-rise building down, it didn't need to be there no more. It was in the way of progress. If you see an earthquake and a hole pop up in the ground and some shit gets sucked in there, it was meant to happen because it was impeding progress. It was interfering with us ousting the imposters and proceeding on the path of our best life. So what we do is we look for this verse and see if we can get it to these sisters. The verse, it says that the proton-electron-proton grid will shift, and it will become a proton-electron-proton grid. That's from masculine to feminine, right? Later on in the same chapter, this is for the Nuwabians that want to give some aid and assistance. Later in the same chapter, it said the effect, whole new species will begin to appear as if out of nowhere. And old species will rapidly die out. They will become totally extinct like the dinosaurs. This is in the holy tablets of the Nuwabians. I'm going to try to get in touch with Lamel and see if he can't help me look. I got my brother in Detroit, Zosa Amun, he's helping me look. They haven't got back with me, but I just contacted Zosa this morning about an hour ago. He haven't had time. He probably at work still. But sometime today, before midnight, we have to have that chapter to these sisters so that they can see what they are doing and that the elders has it recorded. They need to know that the elders have it recorded, so they absolutely not taking it from me, a man, because of all of the bullshit that took place. It has to be validated from the ancestors, and then it got to be validated by one of the queens as accurate information. Once they validate it, they can proceed. Now, what a lot of people don't understand about Mott is like the clerk of the court. And when Sika go over her dream, she identified herself because she mentioned the Golden Emperor by description. She mentioned certain individuals of high rank in the spirit realm by description. By identifying them in her dream, it's a reflection. It tells me who she is when I match it with her name. So her job is to get the information from the queen, and if she feels that flipping the grid is just, she will agree. When the two queens agree, then they will give it to the master of ceremonies, the imam, the lady up front, to start the ritual. It does not mean that she started the ritual everywhere. She started the ritual in what we call the spiritual court. So when Portia get an order, my okay the order. She signed off on it, like the clerk at the court. And then the clerk hands it off to the bailiff to be executed, right? So the queen gives the order to Mott. Mott, in turn, gives it to the executor, which would be a lunar reference, a moon reference. And I was informed by Portia that there is a young lady that's associated with her named Luna, which means moon, which is the reflection of the zigzag zig that we had flipped, that she was the master of the ceremony, meaning that she was on the order of, when the order go through the chain, then that's when she called the women and tell them, let's do this, let's get this shit in. Once she do that, but the men's job, if y'all see a congregation of women and they are being harassed by a man, you got to remember the imposters are going to try to stop it. So when they see the women grouping up at the park or at the little dance places or the yoga centers or wherever they grouping up at, and you see a man trying to interfere with what they doing, asking a whole bunch of questions, you kindly ask him to leave them alone. And he only get one time to be told before you have to tell him aggressively, hey, I done already asked you to leave them sisters alone. Get the fuck out of here. Because at that point, he is trying to impede the progress of the women doing what they have to do to clean this shit up. So don't interfere if they say, baby, can you go over your friend's house while we have a ladies' night at the house because we got some business to take care of. Just know it ain't got nothing to do with you and ain't got nothing to do with no other nigga with no nuts. It got something to do with Mother Earth and her daughters deciding to clean this shit up. Don't take it personal. Don't get offended. Don't get jealous. That shit gonna leave anyway. Soon as they get done doing what they do. So gather your sons, your nephews, the boys, and let the women go do women congregational things that they gonna be doing. They're not gonna need the feedback. They're not gonna need the resistance. And they don't need the bullshit. We had enough of all of that already. They need support, protection, and backup. So when they congregate, don't allow men to interfere with what they doing. Now, I'm not sure how they're going to do it, because some of these women will whoop these niggas' ass for real. They've been acting all dainty and shit because they women like they ain't warriors in order to stay under the radar, so y'all don't know that they will beat your motherfucking ass in 4 languages and you didn't even know she knew how to fight. She didn't even know. Well, it's here. The bullshit over with. Watch this black girl magic. Watch these mystic women shake this motherfucker to the core and flip this motherfucker back on track, and we all get back to our ascension goals. It's been a long, hard journey. A lot of masters went through a lot of shit to get us here. We don't need no ignorant, testosterone-driven foolishness interfering with heaven on earth, returning. We wasn't always like this. It's time to get this shit over with. Now, let me look through here and see if anybody got any questions, because the video didn't have to be long. I just had to tell the men, make sure where you see the women congregating, you do not allow other men interfering. If you see it, he only get one time. Women, if there's a man dressed in drag, as soon as y'all spot him, y'all make a circle and point that motherfucker out. I'm not joking. And when they point him out, them soldiers gonna come in there and drag that motherfucker up out of there. He's trying to fuck up the game. That's why they turning all of the kids into drag queens, to stop the flip. It's not gonna work. Women gonna know they there. All y'all do is step away from him and point at him. Everybody point at that motherfucker at the same time. If a man see one of them motherfuckers, you go drag his ass out of there. He don't belong. I don't give a fuck what the LGBTQ, RSV, LMNOP ass community got to say about it. It's had nothing to do with sexual preference. It only has to do with flipping the grid, restoring heaven on earth. I don't give a fuck who you fuck. That's your personal business, and you should keep that shit personal anyway. Everybody in the country don't need to know that you like it the wrong way. On boss, Mizell, we got this. So the sisters are going to be pulling children out of the school system. When they start waking up, they're going to immediately know what it is. That's where they poisoning us at. So as the women wake up and become conscious, they're not going to send their children back to them places. They shooting galleries. They are auction blocks. You don't even know that old men in limousines sit there and watch your children go to school and point out the ones they want on the trafficking scale. Run their blood type to see what they can use from them as far as transplants in case the shit don't go well. So you need to be understanding that sending your children to school, you are parading them in front of all of the predators, the ones that eat them and the ones that fuck them, the ones that take them and use them as slaves, because all of them ain't sexually oriented and all of them is not food. Some of them they want for servants that they don't have to pay. Okay, you fucking got $100 million and you don't want to pay a motherfucker $20,000, $30,000 a year to clean your nasty ass house, you sorry ass piece of shit. You either get a motherfucker and kidnap him, hold him hostage, and put him to work for free. And you got all that goddamn money. What the fuck kind of shit is that? Not on my watch. Everybody get what they earn. Motherfucker got a job, pay. Pay him what he earned. Pay him a fair wage. You know? So I'm gonna go over this one more time, men. These women about to take off. They about to do some superhero shit. Y'all not gonna understand it consciously, but when the process starts, all of the men that are real men, that's not imposters, gonna automatically become more protective of these women and more aggressive when motherfuckers fuck with these children. They're not gonna be able to help it. They're going to be waking up, becoming what they already were before you were diminished. So no men allowed in their groups. If you see a group of women pointing out something that might look like a woman, that ain't no woman. They pointing out the drag. The drag is to fuck the vibration up. The drag is to fuck the vibration up. They want to get in the middle and try to get, they're not in the network. They can only get through the network by approval of the women. So they already not in the network. So when they go in there trying to do what the women doing with no uterus, they fucking the vibration up. So the women gonna point them out. See a group of women pointing out one of them drag queens or any man that's interfering with the process of what they doing. Drag his fucking ass out, and you do not have to be nice. Get that motherfucker a left bump to remember. Remember Reginal Denny? Fuck no, we can't all get along. No. We did that go along to get along shit long enough. Just get rid of the imposters and the rest of us gonna automatically get along because we already love each other. We already want to see each other succeed and want each other to have the best in life. We all want our brother to have what we have and become what we become. But we don't want these fucking imposters to keep fucking the game up. That's like you let this motherfucker keep bringing the police to the dope spot. What the fuck is wrong with you? We can't keep doing this. We done with it. It's too late now. I done gave them their shit. Now, if they make it where the energy buildup becomes hostile while they doing this because the men don't want to cooperate, then you're going to see some of the ugliest, most beautiful disasters you ever seen. That's going to be direct lightning strikes on strategic targets because mama don't believe in innocent bystanders and innocent victims. So when they say, I hope the Lord strike me down, don't say that shit right now because she will pop your motherfucking ass with a motherfucking 167 trillion volt electricity and straighten your whole motherfucking world up. Don't say that shit the wrong time to be saying it now. When these women go to work, they got control of the weather. They got control of the surface of the earth. It will move. If there's something, it will open up and suck your ass in there. The vibration tells on you. The imposter can't hide. And when the grid flips, the imposter can't stay. So, allow no men to interfere with what these women doing. Spend time with the young boys to teach them how to be men. That's an opportunity. Seize the chance. Seize the time. The time is now. Stokely Carmichael. Flip. SNCC. SNCC. Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Flip me off to Black Panthers. Which brings me into my outlaw motherfucking chain. So now we coming off the two-ball cane. This is an order that the Queen Mother give on behalf of the Stokely Carmichael and SNCC, the original Black Panther Party for self-defense and the outlaw. That's the two-ball cane portion. That's the two-ball cane. So that's how this message is coming in off the two-ball cane through those three lines. When they flip it to me, they flip it to me to flip it to the women on the four-corner shuffle. Off the Platinum Back Gorilla line and Morpheus the General line. So once they done that, we all get the order from Mama. So imagine if you might be an older man and you might know some women that want to congregate, but one of the kids, boys don't have no male figure in their life, you gonna have to go spend some time with him. I be hearing motherfuckers talk about that ain't my child. Fuck that shit. We all gonna have to take care of some orphans in a minute. And I ain't talking about no months either. I'm talking about in a couple of weeks. We gonna all got to take care of some orphans. It's gonna be a bunch of motherfuckers ain't gonna have no parents because they imposters. Or they sided with the imposters and lost their mind, so they surrendered their soul. Either way, it don't matter to me. Just don't fuck with these sisters. If I see it, I'm not going to be as nice as I'm asking these other brothers to be. Because I done went through probably more shit than anybody else to try to give them their shit back. So I'm going to be a little bit more pissed than everybody else. They're supposed to be that way. Right? So, all of the soldiers, the brothers, y'all already know what to do. Y'all done been flipped off the outlaw line out of the Rock Nation through the industry. Y'all done been flipped through the Vice Lords, through the GDs, through the BDs, through the Stones, through the Crips, through the Bloods. Y'all know what to do. All y'all got to do is let y'all women do their thing unrestricted and unencumbered. Women, as much white as you can. Become as close to the physical earth and the elements of earth as you can. Hug a tree. Sit on a rock. Bury your feet in the sand. Walk barefooted across the grass. Stick your hands in the water. Stick your feet in the water. Wade in the water. Whatever it takes for you to feel like you and earth have become part of one entity, do it. It's going to be natural to you if you follow what you feel. We did the work to move the restriction from you being able to tune in to Mother Earth and wake her up. She's partially woke from the work we've done, but because I don't have the agenda to give the order, I can only present the case and the judgment before the Queen. The Queen had to get an order. Might then okays the order that it is fair and that it is just. And once she say the order to flip the grid is fair and just, and that ousting these imposters is fair and just, and getting rid of these vampire siren bitches is fair and just, this shit is over. The grid will flip. Whole species will die in a moment's notice. And new species going to be popping up out of nowhere. That's what they say in your Bible is a new heaven and a new earth. How the fuck did you think we was going to get it? Did you think it was just going to blink like Genie and pop up? No. We had to do work. We had to earn our right to continue to stay on this planet after all of the dirt that was dropped. We fought a lot of wars, and they got bad. They got so fucking bad, this whole sector of creation was quarantined off. All of your higher faculties were stripped. So everything I did, I could not use what you would call the powers of the masters. I had to do it from mortal perspective as a mortal man. And just to show y'all that it's not impossible for a man to bump straight from A to Z, from alpha to zeta reticuli. It doesn't take, it's not impossible. I wasn't born the smartest motherfucker. I wasn't born the tallest motherfucker.